This podcast is brought to you by my brand, Myrrh and FrankinSCENTS soaps, oils, and home remedies, offering a range of natural remedies and products for home, bath, and body. From herb-infused body oils and soaps to luxurious room and linen sprays and wax creations. Find us online at mnfscents.com. That's spelled MANDFSCENTS.com. When you join our email list, you will receive 10% off your first online order. Come on and check us out. Now, back to our show. Greetings, everyone. Today's episode is going to be something every business owner, new or established, needs to hear to help you find the confidence to keep building your business. So let me go ahead and welcome you back to another episode of the Myrrh and FrankinSCENTS podcast, Season 1, Episode 5, where we chat about issues related to running home-based businesses. Please take a moment to like the video and hit the subscribe button and bell icon so you can get all notifications when I upload new content. Let's get into it. Imagine with me, you're looking to start building your own bath and body company, or say you want to make a line of eyeshadows or lipsticks to sell. Perhaps you start making and testing a recipe and you casually mention to a friend or family member your business idea. Then you hear the dreaded, soul-crushing phrase, "The market is saturated. There's too many people making," insert your product type here. As you think to yourself, it becomes more and more difficult to imagine a place for yourself amongst so many other flourishing brands. In reality, do you have a chance to compete? Is the bath, body, and cosmetics idea played out? Can you, and even I, outmarket the competition? Is the bath and body industry truly oversaturated? To answer the question, absolutely not. But let's play devil's advocate and go over 3 ways most people would define a saturated market. 1. On the surface, companies have the same product lines: bar soaps, bath bombs, soap cupcakes, same scents, same color schemes. Customers can be overwhelmed with the large variety of choices they have for seemingly similar products. 2. There are a lot of look-alike and knockoff products, from candles to bar soap. A simple Google search will reveal hundreds or thousands of results. Who doesn't have a turmeric, charcoal, or goat milk soap? Even I do. And 3, everyone is targeting the exact same customer base. But there is hope. Let's break down 3 reasons why the market isn't necessarily saturated, and there is room for you and your new business. Firstly, the market is not saturated because there are ways to make your brand stand out from the rest. You're only limited by your creativity. Creative makers are coming up with unique formulas all the time that their customers can't get enough of. Another reason the market is not saturated is that indie brands have been gaining popularity over the past several years. People love supporting smaller brands in their communities and online. In the wide market, there is always a brave customer who will take a chance on your brand and potentially find their go-to brand for a specific product. No 2 makers make products exactly the same, even when using the same formula or recipe. Lastly, the bath soap industry alone is growing yearly with a projected value of over $24 billion by 2024, which is an increase of 5.1%. Some of that is going to be us. Since there is that glimmer of hope, let's talk about how you can inject your business into the market right now. First, the big one: have a plan. The key is to find an ideal customer group that is not being targeted, or a specific niche not being targeted, and market. How will you do that? Get your notebooks to write down these 4 parts your plan needs. The first part is to know who you want to sell to. The next part is to know what types of things they like and what appeals to them. Next, make your product irresistible to that specific group. I once saw a quote that read, "Don't sell a mattress, sell a good night's sleep." Be sure to appeal to the buyer's pain points and sell the solution to that pain point. Make sure they understand how your product will fix their problem. The fourth part of the plan, decide if you want your brand to be economy or high-end luxury goods. This will also determine who your customer will ultimately be. Word of caution: if you don't take the time to plan your strategy, you end up with a lot of products that either aren't selling, take a long time to sell, or end up being thrown out. Trust me in this, I know from experience. Getting back on track, the second way that you can break your business into the market right now, don't be afraid to adapt your product to a better potential customer base. You may enjoy creating wild blue and green lipsticks, but a common pain point your customers may keep telling you about is that they need a nude shade for darker tones, but can't find the right one. Expand or change your line to meet that need. The third way to break into the market, create a custom order brand or product. As a customer or client, there is no satisfaction like knowing you have something no one else does, or the item you have was custom made for your unique body type or shade. Sell that to your customers. If you are a makeup artist, consider an idea like creating a custom color palette for clients that accentuates their unique skin tone. This takes us into the fourth and final way you can break into a seemingly saturated market. Fourth, find a gimmick. Not a cheap one, but maybe quirky, funny product names or themes, one-of-a-kind packaging, something that sets your business apart from the competition but won't introduce too much creative strain. Remember, no matter how you choose to approach building your brand, people don't buy products, they buy you. Give your customers something or someone to fall in love with and develop a relationship they want to support. Now, before we end, I want to say that when you're starting your business journey, or even if you have a few years under your belt, opportunities for self-doubt will be a mainstay and will crop up again and again. So in true M&F podcast fashion, let's dive into the following article from Forbes detailing their top 10 tips to overcoming self-doubt. 10 practical ways to conquer entrepreneurial self-doubt. As an entrepreneur, you've likely encountered various risks and obstacles while juggling a myriad of responsibilities. With all these challenges, it's common for self-doubt to strike at some point in your career. However, it's important to not let those negative perceptions and fears get the best of you. Tip 1. Reflect on your progress so far. One thing you need to understand is that self-doubt is absolutely normal. Running a business is hard. There are lots of decisions you have to make as a leader, and people rely on you every day. That's a lot of pressure. Clearly, even the most successful entrepreneurs experience this feeling from time to time, and you might be doubting yourself just because you're stressed. Whenever you lose confidence in your abilities, look critically at what you've achieved so far. Reflect on your progress and acknowledge all the people that have helped you throughout your journey. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is the person you were when you started. Tip 2. View the situation objectively. Everyone has moments of self-doubt. The key is to remember that feeling insecure about something doesn't necessarily mean you've done anything wrong. If I feel doubtful, I look over the situation objectively and try to find anything I may have overlooked. Of course, it's important to do this when you feel confident as well, but the point is that your thoughts and emotions don't always reflect reality. When you experience doubt, remember, it's a feeling rather than an external reality. Just be sure to confirm that you don't have a good reason to feel doubtful. If there isn't one, let things play out. It's also good to remember that even the best leaders aren't perfect. There's no point in dwelling on potential problems. Tip 3, don't talk about your plans until they're in motion. If you're worried about not meeting your own expectations, refrain from telling others about your plans until things start coming into life. One of the worst feelings is hyping up your plans only for them not to turn out the way you hoped. It makes you doubt yourself even more. You can avoid this by staying low-key and keeping your next moves to yourself. Regardless of how it turns out, you'll be the only one who knows, and you can then choose what to do with that information. 4, remove yourself from negative people. Sometimes who you're surrounded by can contribute to how you feel about yourself. Become more aware of who surrounds you. Take inventory of who you spend the majority of your time with and who you listen to for advice or feedback. If they are people that talk negatively about themselves and or others, that feeling of negativity can, and let me add, will, seep into you as well. This might mean you should spend less time with these people for a while, even if they're friends or family. Begin to seek out and spend time with inspiring people that are motivated to do well in their own lives and encourage others to do the same. Tip 5, remember you are not alone. One antidote to self-doubt is to realize you aren't alone. Parenting memes blow up on Instagram because they express an experience with shared challenges that all parents can relate to. They help us to laugh at ourselves, have a sense of belonging, and realize that our feelings are normal. And it's so reassuring. Entrepreneurship is not that different. Tip 6, stretch your imagination. Self-doubt, self-sabotage, and imposter syndrome are all imagined emotions. Entrepreneurs can easily and effortlessly overcome this by remembering that if they can imagine anything, they can imagine everything. The part of them that has self-doubt is really protecting them from their fears. Some of us are afraid of failure, some are afraid of the unknown, and others are afraid of entirely different things. If they can imagine failing, they can also equally imagine success. Number 7, look at the data. An effective way to quell self-doubt is to examine what evidence I have to support or negate those feelings. Rather than focus on that one outlying point driving your doubt, take a look at the data available for your own business and let that be the force to change your mindset. Tip 8, spend time with like-minded entrepreneurs. The group cares about each other and knows the stress of being a solo entrepreneur, so we can provide ideas and advice without the normal politics that would exist if it was an insider meeting in an entrepreneur's organization. And I can tell you that this one has been such a wonderful thing for myself. I have several friends who are also running their own home-based businesses, whether it's in the bath and body industry or clothing or event planning. It has been so powerful to be able to be around these other women who think like I do and are struggling with the same things, and we can all just sit and encourage each other. And so I definitely recommend you finding some friends who are willing to sit down and just kind of have a very casual opportunity to kind of meet together. Tip 9, reframe your self-doubt. Remember that every great entrepreneur has experienced the same self-doubt at one point or another. You are not alone. That keeps coming up. Though you are experiencing doubt, it shouldn't mean your thoughts or beliefs are true. Our brains don't like the unknown, and because of this, they protect us from the pain that comes from possible failure or the unknown. Doubt becomes our brain's weapon to protect us from stepping outside our comfort zone. When we see self-doubt as our mind's way of protecting us from failure, we're able to remind ourselves that feelings aren't facts. We can then confidently move forward into the unknown. The last tip, embrace it. Self-doubt is normal and natural, especially when your business is breaking new ground or innovating in an established sector. Why haven't other entrepreneurs already done what you're doing? Do they know something that you don't? If you aren't asking yourself these questions, you're probably not being as innovative as you think. Embrace self-doubt. Let it motivate you to double check and think through your plans. Challenge your preconceptions. In the end, recognize that every entrepreneur who's succeeded had the same doubts, failed more than once, and kept going anyway. In conclusion, the market is only saturated if you can't convince your potential customers that you have something no other brand has and develop a loyal following. Once you start building your customer base, maintain a level of professionalism and personalism with customers. That makes them feel appreciated, and over time, they may come back and might even refer your brand to friends. So be encouraged. There is more than enough space and a special place in this small business world for your business and mine. Just start with one product and see how it goes from there. In the description box, I'll leave a link for the Forbes article and 2 more great articles with ideas to market your business on a limited budget for under $100. Marketing doesn't need to be expensive to be effective. But I want to continue the conversation in the comments. Comment below if you've been told you shouldn't move forward with your business plans because, quote unquote, the market is saturated. Do you believe the bath and body market is indeed an overdone industry? Or do you believe that there's still room for everyone to bring their own unique twist to the soap and cosmetics world? Thanks for listening. That's all for today. And with that, peace and blessings, and stay sensational.